All right, guys. Happy 2024. Yeah, let's kick off the year with some good news. So first of all, rates are stabilizing, which is really nice. Like I told you, I'm going to talk about rates basically in the beginning of every podcast. And yeah, rates are hovering around the 6.5s right now, which is really good. They're stabilizing. That's not even the good news. The good news is that the Fed are projecting to lower the rates with probably 3 or 4 cuts in the next 6 to 7 months, which is really good. Which projects the rates to be high fives and even 5.75 to 6 in the next 6-7 months, which is going to be really good news. I mean, is it really good news for small time investors? Sure, but the bad news about the small time investors, the smaller range investors, will be that you will be competing against a lot of first time home buyers for these type of properties, specifically 1 to 2 bedroom condos, 2 to 3 bedroom townhouses in the suburbs. You're competing against first time home buyers when the rates drop. First time home buyers usually, in general, everybody gets more buying power in this situation. So this will be a little bit kind of a knife with 2 edges when it comes to rates drops for investors. But again, rates are dropping. That's a good thing. That's the very first thing that I want to talk to you about in the 2024 beginning of the 2024 campaign. Again, Happy New Year. Let's get this show rolling. What I want to talk about in this episode, I want to start with inventory. This is what I think that we should talk about right now, because it's a very tricky time to kind of narrow down when more inventory is coming, what's in the pockets, when are we expecting price to go up a little bit, when are we expecting more demand. So Chicago usually is a very cyclical market in terms of inventory. So by cyclical market, I mean that the majority of the transactions in Chicago and the suburbs in real estate are happening between February and probably September. We usually see a big dip around the 4th of July, and then we have a little bit of spike up until September, and then October, November, December are kind of not very good for real estate in general. But again, the very beginning of the year, between mid-January, beginning of February up until July, this is where the majority of transactions are happening. So is it the best time for an investor to purchase an investment property during that time? No, it's not. I don't want to lie to you. I'm not a person who is oh yeah, it's always a good time to buy an investment. Listen, if the investment is a good investment, sure, buy it. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is. But the reality of the situation is that if something is a good investment, there's going to be way too many people jumping on it, and you're not going to be competing against other investors. You'll be competing against a lot of first-time home buyers when we're talking about range under 300, specifically suburbs, let's say Schaumburg, Arlington Heights, Mount Prospect, Palatine, all these suburbs. The townhouses there are being bought by family formation, basically people who don't have a kid and planning for one, people with a kid. And that's the reality. That's what it is. And these people are willing to overpay a little bit to beat you. And when it comes to investments, you don't have to, in general, you don't go there emotionally. You're going there just to based on numbers. This is the reason you're purchasing it. How much I can purchase it, what is my cash flow, how much I can rent it for. That's it. You don't care if there is a white picket fence, or oh my god, I love the bathroom or the basement or the layout and all that stuff. Sure, you care about it because your tenants will care about it eventually. But at the end of the day, you don't care about it because you're not supposed to be emotionally investing into something like that. So yeah, the inventory currently, what we see in the suburbs is we have a little bit more listings in the pockets or on private network, let's call it that way. So a lot of the sellers are listed private, and they're probably going to go live with price adjustments, even price adjustments up or down. Beginning of February, maybe. What do I mean by price adjustment up or down? Meaning that, so for example, if somebody testing the market at $210,000 townhouse, 2 bedroom, 1.5 bedroom, or 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom, somewhere, whatever, let's say Palatine, and they're getting just slammed with showing requests at $210,000 on private market, they probably not gonna accept anything. They probably will accept something, like they probably go live in a couple of weeks and then just raise the price to like 220 or 225 and see what they can get for that, because it makes sense for them. Because if they're listed private at 210 and they're getting just like slammed with showing requests, that means that they might be priced in the market. That's how you do basically a price adjustment based on private market. And yeah, a lot of sellers are doing it right now. So we're expecting the inventory to increase by probably 20% in like February 1st. We're talking about live market, on market inventory. Right now, inventory is still low, unfortunately. You don't have that many choices out there, but it's gonna get better and better. The problem for investors is demand is getting like tenfold. Like everybody's shopping right now. Everybody's starting to shop right now. So you won't be able to get those great deals that you would have gotten like if you start shopping around September, October and lock something in November and December. Unfortunately, that's what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. Like I said, like my job is to find good properties, but at the end of the day, like it's kind of counterproductive if I find a good property for like 200k and then like a first-time home buyer or whoever it is like gives them like 210, 215 and the numbers don't work. It's just counterproductive for you to buy it, right? Another thing, prices are up a little bit. We already see an uptick of price increases in some of the suburbs, unfortunately. But again, appreciation, that's what it is. You know, even though suburb market exploded from the range of 150 to 300, suburb market just exploded after COVID. It was just crazy. Just keeps going. Like there's no stop. Like it is what it is. There's like people still buy. People need a place to live. People will rent or buy, right? Like nobody who has the ability to like the majority of people who have the ability to buy, they'll buy. They're not going to rent. It's just there's no point because rents are all-time high right now. Rents are insanely high right now, and there's no point of renting. If you're renting, if you have the ability to buy, you know, people ask me like, when is a good time to buy? When you have the money. Like it is what it is, you know. Like there's no other answer for that. Of course, I mean, if you're renting from your parents or your grandma or something and you're getting a phenomenal deal on rent, keep renting until you find a great deal. But currently, if you're paying like in the suburbs, like mind that, if you're paying like $1,800 to $2,000 for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom in the suburbs, I mean, it's cheaper to buy at this point. Sure, it's gonna cost you like 5% down, like $10,000, $15,000 to buy like a townhouse for 210k, but it's just so much better to like it doesn't make sense for you to rent, because like what's the interest rate on rent? It's 100%, you know. Like even if the interest rates are 10% or 12%, whatever the interest rates are, like interest rate on rent is 100%. Like you're basically burning money. Like that's it. There's no other explanation to that. But yeah, I just wanted to touch base on inventory. Inventory will get higher, but with a higher inventory, demand will skyrocket as well. So is it a good time for investors to purchase properties between February and let's say July? I don't think so. I don't think so. But of course, there's also good deals to be found out there as well. You might have to pay a little bit more because you can get winter prices in spring market. It's just not gonna happen. So just letting you know. All right, speaking of, unfortunately I don't have that many good investments that they're like a must buys for this week specifically, but I do have a couple of like 3 places that they might need to be just keep an eye on them. They're not bad for first-time home buyers, especially with the appreciation that happened in the areas recently. The first one is on 318 Rottenberg Road, Roselle. It's a 3-bedroom, 1.5-bathroom for $250. I rent the comps slightly over whatever it's supposed to be. It literally just hit the market today, but nothing crazy of a renovation. But it looks neat. It looks clean. New carpet, like everything in this place is just like new. That's what it is. Like you're not gonna be worried about like anything breaking, I hope, anytime soon. I mean, of course, this is only by photos. I can't tell. I really can't tell by these photos if the appliances are brand new. They don't look brand new. Like dishwasher looks scratched. Like, but again, fridge has a dent or two here and there. They're not brand new, but they look in good condition. Cabinets probably gonna need handles, like that's the one thing that flippers and people who just try to sell their investment like get lazy on, like small details like this. Is it gonna affect the price? Probably. Like, nah, of course not. But again, those are little things that I point out. Yeah, carpet looks new, bathroom looks pretty decent condition. Like, I don't think like there's anything really wrong with that place from photos that I can see, except like right here you have to make sure that that door frame here is actually good, because if you need to change something like that, that's probably gonna cost you like 3 G's. That's a lot of money for that. But yeah, like square footage seems pretty good. They don't list the square footage. I think it's with above grade is like, I don't know, 1100, 1200 or something like that for a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom in Roselle. Rents there are pretty good. This is investor friendly. It says right here, investors welcome. Taxes are a little high, but HOA fees are a little bit lower, so that kind of offsets a little bit. Of course, taxes are going to go higher, so that's why this is not a super ideal for investment right away. This is definitely good for a first-time home buyer, somebody who needs a little bit more space. They can definitely benefit from the low HOA fees there. Is it the perfect buy? Probably not, but again, you're gonna see more and more overpriced properties like this, because I think that this is overpriced by a little bit. But again, as the season comes, as the demand increases, you are going to see the prices going higher and higher. The reason is because, like, of course, the person who is listing this property already has a number in their head that does the bottom line. So hypothetically, if their bottom line is like, hey, I'm willing to take like 225 and walk away, like somebody gonna go there and be like, oh my god, this property is like, oh, too expensive. What if you offer them 230? They'll take it. Probably. Again, I don't know what this situation specifically, but there's a lot of cases like this that they're overpricing the property and they're willing to sit on the market for a little bit and take a lower price. So is that the perfect price for this property? My opinion, of course, this is solely my opinion, it's not, but I think it's a good buy for a first-time home buyer. So keep an eye. Maybe if they sit on the market for a little bit long, right now they're literally a day on market. I'm pretty sure that he's not going to take anything less than like 245 right now. But again, they've been on the market for a day. So if that sits there for about 30, 40 days, maybe they'll consider a price drop. Who knows? Next one, again, they're all of the, like, 2 of the properties there for 250. This one is also another thing. This is an open house on Saturday. I highly recommend you to go and check it out on Saturday. Just came on the market a couple of days ago. 1.5, like way better area for Schaumburg right here than the previous one that we had in Roselle. So this is why this is another indicator this property is overpriced comparing to this one, because the area is much better here. Similar taxes and similar HOA fees in terms of that, a little bit more square footage in this specific property, but again, this one is not remodeled. So you definitely need to put at least $5,000 to $6,000 into this place, at least for floors and paint. Like, of course, if you want to do new cabinets, new countertop, because whatever that blue thing they put here looks like my grandma's graduation party. But I can't really tell from the photo if that's like a, yeah, that's definitely not like any, yeah, that's just old. That's what it is. But yeah, so again, this one definitely a good purchase price will be probably about 240, and you put actually 10 grand into it and kind of modernize it a little bit. You do have to do a little bit of work yourself to save yourself a little bit of money. But in future, seeing the increase for this type of townhouses in the area in Schaumburg, the increase is like, the appreciation is just insane. It's just pure insanity. Like I wish I have a, like I wish I had and I have a crystal ball to tell what's going to happen in future. But back in like 2 years ago, like this type of place were selling for a lot less. Even like 2 to 3 years ago, places there were selling for like 220, 210, 230 even, in like better condition than this one. Right now, it's just crazy how much the area appreciated. Of course, do I know if that's gonna keep growing? Eventually, that bubble's gonna pop. Eventually, the price is gonna cap somewhere, because people are getting outpriced. Like, for example, that's why a lot of buyers right now are moving more and more towards, like, from this Hoffman Estate Schaumburg area. Like, they started from the Arlington Heights and Mount Prospect Rolling Meadows area. Palatine is getting overpriced right now. Hoffman Estate, people started going to Hoffman Estates in Schaumburg. Like, right now, people are going to Hanover Park and to Bartlett. They're going further west. At some point, this is going to hit this area right here, like the Elgin, South Elgin area. At some point, it might be 10 years, it might be like less than that, but more and more developments are happening in this area right here. You can see that vacant land that we have, like they're just monumental like townhouse communities being built right now. And it's just at some point Schaumburg is going to get too expensive for normal people like you and me, that they, for example, they want to, like, they either want to have a kid or they already have a kid or two. They want to buy a townhouse. They can like people who cannot afford a detached single family, they want to live in something like a little bit cheaper. People can't afford it anymore. So yeah, everybody's going west right now. So that's what I think, that currently this is a good price, because in 2 years from now, this is probably going to be 300K. Again, do I know that's going to be the price? No, I don't. But like, nobody knows. You know, I'm just looking at the numbers and seeing what's going on with the appreciation in the area. Okay, so yeah, we covered these two. Now, something that it's always been, I've always been super mad about this specific like community, like on the I don't even know how to pronounce it, Gobert or something, Gobert community in Arlington Heights. So I remember I used to tour properties there with few investors in like 2020, 21, beginning of 22, when the rates were still low. Places in better condition than this place, like I'm talking about better condition than this current apartment, were selling for 150K, and the idiots that we were like, yeah, that's too much. Now something in original condition is selling for like 199. Is that currently overpriced? Absolutely. Realistic price for this place in this condition based on comps, realistic price in this community in Arlington Heights, probably about 180, probably, maybe even a little bit less. But again, they're probably gonna start getting like close to 200. They will. And like the missed opportunity between like from my investors back then, because I didn't like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't have the balls to tell them like, hey, just pull the trigger, just buy it, because we see where things are going, you should buy it. And they were just getting scared, because like, oh, you know, 150, 160, that was too much for that. And look at them now. They could have made like a ton of money out of this place. And like, again, the downside of this place, like the HOA fees are a little bit higher and taxes are a little bit higher now, but the rents that you're getting there, of course, hindsight 2020, you know, if we were to buy something like this in a good condition for 150, rents currently there for something like this, probably gonna go about like $2,200 a month, if not more. Like, that's a 2 and 2, 1,100 square feet. We're talking about more than 2,000, like $2,200 a month. Like, it was a gold mine. Unfortunately, we missed on that. Now, is it gonna keep happening? Is those prices gonna keep increasing? Am I saying this property is like, this property is priced well? No, it's not. 200 is way too much. Like, I think that they're overpriced by 20K, my opinion. Of course, like, please don't, like, whoever the broker is, please don't call me and like tell me to fuck off. But yeah, again, my opinion, in this condition, probably 180K. But again, for a first-time home buyer, if you get in there on a decent price in this specific community in Gobert, like, because there are a bunch of buildings right next to each other, if you get in there on a decent price range, probably around like 180, 185, even if you buy like close to 200 on a renovated place, you're looking at a really good investment. Like, it depends how much money you put. I mean, if you put like the bare minimum of like 3.5% or 5% or whatever it is, you're not looking at that good of an investment, because your monthly payments are going to be a little bit higher. Like, let's test that theory like really quick, because so for example, hypothetically, you buy a 195, and let's say you put 3.5% down. Mortgage rates, sure, let's keep it at 6 and a 5, 6.5. Insurance is going to be probably around 50-ish. Association fees currently 407. They might increase, even though it's pretty good. Like, your monthly payments are 2015, like 2000, like around $2,000. Let's call it that. Like, there might be like these are very like general. This is very general math. So let's say your monthly payment with the minimum percent down will be $2,000. Now that's where it comes to how much money you're gonna put into place, right? Because if you want to buy something from 195 like this, or let's say 190, and you put like about $10,000 to upgrade the kitchen a little bit, like do most of the work yourself, you know, because a full renovation of this place is gonna cost like 30 G's. So be careful with that. If you do that and you do a little by little, you upgrade this place, I'm telling you, like, this can be a good investment bought on the right price. The right price for each property. For me specifically, for this specific unit, looking at the renovations, what has to happen, like that probably never gonna go. Like that's why it's been sitting there for like 18 days. Like usually those properties sell for like a week. Realistic for this one, probably 175, probably currently. And again, I was an idiot in like 3 years ago, not telling my investors to buy on 152, and like because there were multiple other situations on 152 on a renovated apartment. Like I was the idiot telling these people not to buy it on this price, you know. So right now it's yeah, like that's the reality. Unfortunately, prices in the suburbs are going up, like Mount Prospect, Arlington Heights, Palatine, Rolling Meadows, like all of these areas I can show you right here. Everything from here, like we're talking about Wheeling, Palatine, Hoffman Estates, Hanover Park, even Bartlett is getting hotter right now. There are a lot of newer construction townhomes being there, and people from Schaumburg, Hanover Park, that they're getting pushed out, they're going to Bartlett even. So this area, Bloomington, to be honest, Bloomingdale, to be honest, I'm not that familiar with that area. I've never done business in this specific pocket right here, so I can't tell you. We're talking about cheaper, under 300 or 250K. But all of these right here that you see it's just getting insane. Everything right here. And everything is getting pushed this, like going either west, southwest, or even a little bit northwest, which there's not much out there, but again, that's the reality, guys. So yeah, to recap the whole thing, is it a really good time to purchase something right now? Unfortunately, starting mid-January, beginning of February, it has to be something that I don't even know how to say. Like, no, it's not a good time. Like, I can't lie to you guys. It's like if you're a smaller time investor, your competition will be like just through the roof. So I would keep my cash and see what's gonna happen. But again, rates are down though. If you find something that it's a good deal with a good rental, even if you don't make that much of a cash flow and you buy for appreciation, it's not too bad. But again, cash flow is shrinking just because of the price are going up and demand is going up. So yeah, that's it for today. Again, happy 2024. Let's kick this year off with a good start, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you next week, same time basically, and we'll roll around. Peace.